Aaron Canada alongside John Schiffner on the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And Schiff, 2 straight rainouts and, rain in the forecast yet again here in Falmouth.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I kind of feel like, I don't know what that little cartoon character is. It always got the little lightning thunder over his head. It feels like that's what I feel like right now. It's every place we go, we bring rain. But the Falmouth guys want me to go home. Umpires told me I should go home. Well, they would tell me to go home anyway. Yeah, what are you going to do? You know, it's summertime in New England, and this is what happens. And some years it's dry, some years it's wet, and some years it fogs.
And in your years of experience.
You laugh at that. I thought that was pretty funny right there. You don't even laugh. God, jeez, okay.
In your years of experience, I mean, do the long delays and having a couple of games rained out consecutively, does that do anything to the players? I mean, what did you guys do yesterday as far as just keeping these guys up? Was there a practice or anything?
No, we just worked out, and then we found out that the game was obviously canceled, and we went to Miss Mary Ann's for a nice home-cooked meal from my guys from Plainfield. There's nothing you can do. They're beat up. They don't need to practice right now. Batting practice is sufficient. Getting infield, outfield, or ground balls is sufficient. That's my opinion. I mean, some of my colleagues in the league have practice every day. Just not my style. And if that's a fault, then it's a fault. But I think we've done okay over the years. So no, they're just enjoying themselves, and their attitude seems fine. They seem to be up in batting practice right now. Hopefully we don't get rained out again tonight, because I think at that point they're going to be looking at a real grind, a grind that they're not even going to see in professional baseball. Professional baseball wouldn't have that type of schedule where you're going to be playing 2 games potentially at 2 different sites. That's something that is very unique to here, and that's going to be a grind, and I think they realize that, and it's something that life throws you little curveballs. Let's see how you handle it.
Can you take us through the decisions that have been made as far as the rainouts are concerned and how the games will be made up with Bourne and the scenario with Hyannis at the end of the season that we've been hearing about?
I have absolutely no idea. As of yesterday, game time, or even before game time, we were playing Bourne on Tuesday, 1 game. Then we're going to go to Bourne for a 1 o'clock start on Sunday and Wareham for a 5 o'clock start. That is now up in the air. There's a possibility of playing Bourne 2 games on Tuesday right now. That's back in the mix because of the rainouts of last night, and God only knows what's going to happen if games get rained out tonight. So I wish I could answer your question. And even Charlie, I was just on the phone, excuse me. I was just on the phone with the commissioner saying, do we have a decision for what's going on Tuesday? Because that's going to predicate what we're going to do with the bullpen tonight and tomorrow. Because we're going to need, instead of 9 innings out of our pitchers on Tuesday, we're going to need 14 innings out of our pitchers. So we need to conserve today possibly, and I wish I would know that. But, it's like one of those complicated NBA trades where there's 3-4 teams involved. There's 3 or 4 teams involved with how those games are going to be scheduled and determined. So right now I wish I could answer your question.
How about the makeup game with Hyannis that was rained out last night? Because there's a chance that it may not even get played if it doesn't factor into the course of the season.
According to Mr. Gallup, it will be played because every game should be played for statistical purposes. There have been exceptions to the rule, but they are rare. So at this point, who knows what they can do. It really is. It's going to come from the league offices, and I have. That's the first I've heard that. I have not heard when we're making that Hyannis game up. So. Again, I wish I could help you.
Derek Self was set to go yesterday and I believe the day before, but since he is pitching in the All-Star game on Wednesday, as per league rules, every pitcher must pitch at least an inning. He's going to be shut down until then?
Right. That's league rules are... The league rule says that if you are selected to the All-Star game, you will pitch in that game, and therefore that puts the onus on us to make sure that we're not overthrowing them and making sure that they have plenty of rest to perform that 1 inning.
And you talk about trying to conserve the bullpen, but you've also got to try to conserve your rotation as well, and that yet again throws another kink into the mix.
Right, and again, it's told to us from day one, and so therefore you have to adjust as coaches as well. I mean, none of us really like that because we're all, with 8 teams making the playoffs, we're all still in the playoff hunt. So changing your rotation, it's a tendency not to be fair. But until that is changed, we have to adjust our rotation accordingly. So that's why Logan and Self are going to be out of the rotation until after the All-Star game.
Do you feel like if the playoff format were what it used to be, with 6 teams getting in as opposed to 8, that there would be these complications?
Probably not. You would be able to at least see. But again, and I haven't even really looked at the number of points. More than likely, the way I see it, the last 3 teams, or at least the last 2 teams in our division, would probably not be in the hunt for that number 2 spot. So therefore, it would be no big deal. Hey, let's take advantage of this. Let's give our All-Stars an opportunity. That's what they deserve. But yeah, with the opportunity to make the playoffs, and obviously we want to make the playoffs, it is a disadvantage to take those pitchers out of the rotation. But we're all expected to do it, so we all do it, I hope.
You've been to the Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star game at Fenway quite a few times now over the course of your career. How's the atmosphere there on game day?
Actually, I haven't. We haven't had a game at Fenway in decades. This is the first time we've had the All-Star game at Fenway. Last year was the first game. I didn't go because I anticipated the rain, and I was smarter than most people, and it rained out after 4 innings. But we have played the Cape League All-Star game on Cape for many, many years. I can go back to when I was a player, when we used to play at Major League sites. We would play the Atlantic Collegiate Baseball League at Yankee Stadium or at Shea Stadium or even at the Vet in Philadelphia. And then they would come up here and play us at Fenway. But that was a long, long time ago. Last year was the first time we went back. But all the reports from everyone, it was a phenomenal atmosphere, and they anticipated it being better on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
How excited are the 4 All-Stars from Chatham to get up there and actually play a game in Fenway?
They were thrilled. When I contacted them, usually you contact a college-age kid with a text that usually takes sometimes days, sometimes weeks to get them to contact you back. And they were basically nanoseconds back saying, "Oh my God, thanks, Coach. That's great. Also, I can't wait. Tell my parents, my coach." They're pretty excited. That was neat.
Speaking of players playing for the Chatham Anglers, we got to talk to Billy Biesinger a couple of minutes ago, and he's over here on Falmouth. He'll be playing against the Anglers.
That's fantastic. Good for Billy, and God, what a soldier he was for us, and I couldn't be happier for him to get another opportunity. He might be on his way to setting the league record for most teams played for in one season, which I think is great.
I'm Aaron Canada alongside John Schiffner. It's the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.